Hi, this is a video for I Can't Quit You Babe, E. Alright, now essentially the two versions. You have the studio version, and then you have, the one off Coda, which is essentially a live version, but it's actually, from what I recall, it's made up of two versions. They did one at sound check, and they did one, when they played in front of the audience. And I think the bulk of the tune on Coda, I think is from this. In fact, almost all, except I think for the intro and the outro, are from the sound check, and then the front end and the back end are from with the audience. So I'll kind of do both. Again, I'm not at some point I'm going to figure out how to play along to the music. It would be great to play the whole song. But I think conducive to learning, and the fact that I don't have the capability now, if I blasted speakers to this, it would sound like crap. So, but anyway, so the main gist, what I think most people, because I mean obviously I Can't Quit You Baby is a 12-bar blues. It's a standard, So you have the change where the guitar goes ba 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 ba. Okay, what happens is Bonham plays in there a part, and in the studio recording he does the same fill. I think pretty much every time. So da da. So, that fill, and bear with me here, I know I do this in videos. When I did the rock and roll intro, I had my fingers, and people were like, wow, talking fingers. Anyway, but I think this works. Remember, it's a 12-bar. So you have, 3, 4, 6, 8, whatever the hell you want to call it. We'll call it 6, 8. But anyway, so what we'll do is we'll just work it here on a count of 3. So you have da, ba, 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 boom, boom. Ba, ba, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? 1, 2, 3, ba, da, ba. Okay? What happens is Bonham almost always starts the fill on the 2. Okay, so ba, ba, da, 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 boom, 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 ba, ba. Now bear with me. Okay? I assure you, my singing on my my CD is better than what you hear here. So, 2, 3, da da ba 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 ba, boom 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 boom, bass drum, ba. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. Now you can move that fill around. Again, here's the fill. Okay. That's the whole gist of it. And sometimes, I can't remember if he does on the record or 1 or 2 times live, but he'll start. You can start the fill on a different count. If you start it on the 3, you'll just shave off the last bass drum. Okay? Do you know what I mean? So if you're suddenly going here, there's no, just this, put it in very basic terms, there's no room for the last bass drum. So 1, 2, 3, ba ba da 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 ba da ba da bum, psh. Okay? And of course, obviously the later you start that fill, the more of the back end you're going to have to shave off to hit the downbeat, if that makes any sense. And you can also start the fill early on the 1, which leaves you 2 bass drums. So ba da 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 ba 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 ba, boom boom ba. Okay, so I'll explain that again. I know there's a lot of folks that'll pick that up easy, but so essentially 6 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4. But again, we're just going to do 3. So remember that in that riff, blah blah. Okay. blah, blah. Okay, that's how it goes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Usually. 1, 2, 3, 1, da, 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 boom, ba, ba. Okay, and that's what's great about YouTube. You can rewind it. Ba, ba. But if you start that fill on the 1 with his second guitar, blah, you get 1, 2, 3. Okay? So that's why sometimes you hear Bonham put 2 bass drums there. But it's very confusing. Because the fill. Okay, and here, which leads, well, I'm going to digress here. You'll hear Jimmy Page get thrown off by that. You hear on the live recording, Jimmy Page coming a little early when Bonham does, the fill. Because the nature of the fill, it makes it kind of hard to count. And off the top of my head, I think that's what I was just kind of doing. Bonham had this thing, where in 6/8, or, in the blues, where he'd sometimes put, as anybody can, but Bonham did a lot, where sometimes he'd put triplets, and sometimes he'd put 16ths, straight 16ths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you'd have, instead of 1 and a 2 and those are triplets. But then you can put 16ths. Okay? And Bonham was the master. Sometimes he'd mix that around. You know what I mean? Sometimes like he would do like a paradiddle or some sort of inverted combination of a paradiddle around the kit in that song. Ba da. Especially live, he wouldn't do the same thing. So, which leads back in another video I mentioned that. I mean, Bonham was a thing where he would put like a straight 16th feel. 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. I'm waiting for the microphone to decompress. Anyway, so then, or a triplet. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So if I'm not mistaken, which I might be, but I think those notes are made up of in 16th land. So 1 and a 2. Yeah, those are 16ths, a variation on the 16th note pattern. So that's what that fill is. It's in a 16th. It's not. It's in the. So what would it be like? It would work out to be a variation of the 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2. At some point, what I'd love to do would be to get some sort of like a black chalkboard thingy or something, where I could just write the notes. But anyway, so that's the nature of that fill, and that I think is the most confusing part of the tune, because the rest of it is just, so ba 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 ba. It's just a straight 6/8 in classic Bonham form. And somebody had asked about, like, in the live Royal Albert Hall. I think they were asking about what Bonham does at the beginning. Bear with me, my memory just sucks. But at the beginning, when in the How the West Was Won DVDs that came out, you see when they first walk out on stage, you know, John Paul, they all walk out there, and Bonham goes to the drums, and he's like, which is a riff he always did, you know, like in Black Dog. But he, that was something it did a lot of. And sometimes he doubled the bass drum. Anyway, I think that what he's doing in that one little part, and I think what happens is it might, I think it's right for "We're Gonna Groove." There, I think because they start, at least in the way the film's edited, they start off with "We're Gonna Groove," which might be the way it was actually done. But anyway, I think that's what he does, and the reason why you'll see Bonham's stick go flying, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, he has a set of he has his sticks that he takes, and I think there's another pair of sticks. I can't remember if it's on the 18 or the 16, but that's sitting there. But he goes like, see how the sticks fly? So the sticks fly off. I don't think, people are like, oh, he dropped a stick. I don't think he dropped a stick. I don't think he lost one in his hand. I think they were just sitting on his floor tom. Shit, hang on. I think they were just sitting on his floor tom, and just due to the bounce, they just popped up. So anyway, so that's I Can't Quit You Baby. Okay, so remember that fill in there. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba. It's straight, 6/8. There's no, but the way Bonham plays the pattern makes it sound kind of funky, like you're not really sure where the one is. It's classic, brilliant, yet simple Bonham. So watch more of my videos, because I just got, my friend Bob hooked me up with some of his giant beats and older 2002s, which he's going to drop off. I'm going to make a video with a bunch of original giant beats. And I have one here. I actually, because I got rid of all my old stuff, and I never had nearly the amount of giant beats that he had. I think I had like maybe 2 pairs. I think I said 2 pairs of hats, maybe 2 18s, a 20. I never had my own 24. But Bob used to have them shipped here because he lived in a bad neighborhood. So every giant beat that would come in, I would have for a little while. So anyway, keep an eye on the videos. I'll make another Peisty video. Thank you.